In the beginning, God said, "Let there be sound," and there was sound. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Then he said, "Let there be drums," and there were drums. Let there be guitar, and there was guitar. Oh, let there be rock!
Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of The Toy Shelf. I'm your host Mitch Live, and I collect action figures. For today's one-off, we're having a look at Angus Young from the band acdc by McFarlane Toys. acdc is a rock and roll band formed in Sydney, Australia back in 1973, and they're still releasing music as early back as 2020. Angus Young is a founding member of the band, along with his late brother, Malcolm Young. May he rest in peace. Malcolm's full name is actually Malcolm Mitchell Young, and that's a Toy Shelf fact. They've also lost another founding member, their original singer, Bon Scott. He died from a heroin overdose.
Drugs are bad, okay?
But interestingly enough, that was not the end of their career. In fact, they released a full-length album that same year with their current singer, Brian Johnson. That album was Back in Black, and it went on to be their most commercially successful album of all time. And many of their most recognizable songs actually came after Bon Scott's death. Likely, in no small part, thanks to the musical and songwriting talent of the Young brothers. They're not Young brothers, they're the Young brothers. McFarlane Toys has been a pioneer when it comes to quality detailed action figures of iconic musicians. And they make a shit ton. We're talking Jimi Hendrix, Elvis Presley, and of course one of their most popular figure sets, the Metallica Harvesters of Sorrow box set. We will be covering that figure line in a future episode, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and, ring that bell if you want to be notified for future episodes. Because I bet you didn't know what that was for. Am I right, YouTubers? I believe that Angus Young is the only member of the band that McFarlane Toys has produced. He does come off his stand, but he isn't really poseable at all. His arms do move up and down a bit so that he can hold his guitar at slightly different angles, but other than that, there is not much playability to him. And of course, he's wearing his iconic... Okay. New drinking game for the Toy Shelf. Every time Mitch says the word iconic, take a shot. He is wearing his very recognizable schoolboy uniform, which has been a part of the band's aesthetic since very early on in their career. He also has that super familiar look on his face, the snarling lip. It's his O face or his rock face or whatever you want to call it, But I gotta say, they do a pretty good job of capturing that face. He is also clearly doing his duck walk, or whatever you want to call it, which is another totally, which is just classic Angus Young. Their stage shows are notoriously phenomenal, although I've never had the pleasure of seeing them live. I don't know if this diorama is supposed to be from a specific show or music video or anything, but this giant acdc bell has been just a heavily featured set piece, at least since the release of Hell's Bells. He comes with his signature guitar, the Gibson SG, which also just happens to be my favorite guitar. But he makes it sound a little better than me. If there was one word I could use to describe this figure, it would be iconic, okay? I'm sorry, maybe I need to extend my vocabulary a little bit, but I mean, he's an iconic musician from an iconic band, wearing his iconic outfit, playing his iconic guitar on an iconic stage, doing his iconic face and his iconic walk. He's a f***ing musical icon. How many times was that? 8? Ugh.
Now, children, drinking's bad, okay?
And this brings us to the end of another Toy Shelf one-off. As always, there will be links in the description below that you can follow to purchase your own Angus Young by McFarlane Toys. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, please help us appease the YouTube algorithm by giving us a subscribe or even just watching another Toy Shelf video. It goes a long way, and it helps us keep bringing you more and more free content each week. Thank you for hanging out with us on the Toy Shelf, and remember, no matter what the other guys in the band tell you, you're never too old to play with toys. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and, you know. I keep missing. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and, you know. And you know. F***ing flick the bell. And you know. Not that hard.